Greetings fellow airsofters, Adam Hodston here yet again this evening for another airsoft video. Again, it's not a review, it's a care video. Now, as I've mentioned in some previous videos, I've had a lot of people saying that their magazines aren't working for assault rifles, gas blowback guns, things like that. This is going to be a nice video just about, your magazines, so take care of them. Now, be it an AEG magazine like a mid-cap, or should you be a sinner, the high cap, one thing you want to make sure is that you don't keep rounds loaded in there all the time. One reason being, it's not safe, you shouldn't do it, because you never know, and should you ever need your gun, it might be tempting to use it. But it's always better to have it unloaded because of that reason. The other reason being, because if you've got all of your BBs in there, obviously what's going to happen, do it with a gas gun because you can see it more, is every round that goes in, the spring obviously comes down in relation to that. So if you've got loads of mags in, that spring is going to be so compressed that whenever you need it and you use it again after a period of time, the spring itself could either be really tight, meaning that it's not going to want to recoil up as much, so you're not going to feed all those rounds in properly. Otherwise, the other thing that could happen, it's unlikely, is that the spring could just snap on you. It's under so much tension. So make sure you don't do that. Now, another thing that you're also going to want to do is obviously make sure that the magazines are clean. Now, with all guns, be it gas blowback guns, assault rifles, sniper rifles, anything, when you feed the rounds in, you generally, obviously there are exceptions out there, have to put them into a sort of a feeder hole, or if it's a high cap, the same thing. Even with a high cap though, all of the rounds are coming out of this sort of nozzle here, or feeding valve, whatever the bloody hell you want to call it. Now, if you're not careful, you'll get dirt in there, you'll get dust, you'll get mud, sand, whatever. If that happens, that will actually sort of go into there. It can cause corrosion in the spring, but more than anything, you can get dirt on the BBs. Now, if that happens and you're feeding rounds in, that will actually go into your gun. If you get too much in there, it can destroy your gun basically. So make sure that the mags are clean, both externally, roughly internally, and obviously the feeding port or ejection port piece for it. So a good thing to keep in mind. Yes, now there are a few common problems. AEGs, it could just be that it's not feeding. If you've got a high cap mag, one thing you're going to want to do first of all is, however stupid it is, wind the bloody thing. If it's not working, wind it a couple of times and then try again. Now, if it's not working after that, it's either a case of you wound it too much, there's too much tension that it just won't work. It can happen with some guns. Or it could be that you've not got enough rounds in there, so there's nothing to force it upwards. In which case, reload. Or just change mag, your choice. So yeah, that is that problem. Another possible problem with some guns is that it won't feed up still anyway. That could be because of a problem with a spring if you've got a mid-cap, low-cap, or a pistol mag. If that's the case, what you're going to want to do is just get a cleaning rod of some description and just spray a bit of silicone oil right into there. I've done this previously, so actually I'll do it again. Do it again for you anyway. Silicone oil just in there, quick spray, and also a bit on the release lever. Nice little bit there. Just work that in, so release lever back and forth, small movements. And then inside you want to get your cleaning rod, just push it down a couple of times, all the way to the bottom. I'm not going to do it all the way to the bottom. All the way to the bottom, and then that will sort of move the lube, obviously all throughout the mags, so that'll sort it. That's one thing to do. Now, a lot of people are having this problem. Gas blowback guns. Obviously they take gas, so you've got to fill it up. Now if you leave it with not enough gas in there, then okay, you're pretty much screwed. Because the gas which you actually leave in there at the very end isn't just there so you can fire it should you wish to. It's there so that it will actually keep all of the seals intact, meaning that it's going to be able to hold the gas that you need. If that doesn't happen, it's either a problem with the fact it's not holding gas because it's leaking, or you've just been a complete dumbass. You should keep gas in it, not a full mag's worth, just a little bit. So, enough so it keeps it all going. This mag, for example, I got with my 1911. It's never worked. so I can use it for demonstration purposes and butcher it. So yes, it won't hold gas at all. Should that be the problem, magazine and your toolkit is what you're going to need. Break open your toolkit and open your magazine up. Now it could be a case of there's a screw on the bottom, or an Allen wrench piece, or just a pin. Obviously it's variant for every gun, so where is it? Where is it? So for a Glock one, you may have to take off the bottom piece and then sort of undo a screw or something. You could have to knock out a couple of pins towards the bottom of the mag, or in this case, undo a screw at the bottom. But either way, if you're competent enough to do it, I won't accept responsibility if you bugger up your guns. It's not my fault. This is a rough guide. You should know roughly how to do it anyway. Obviously, sort of undo your mag. So in this case, I'm just going to undo the screw at the bottom of the 1911 mag, and then it will eventually allow you to get to a seal piece, which is on the base plate, always attached to the base plate. Now what you'll have, just a minute, not working as smoothly as I hoped here. Yeah, the screws, not longer than I remember it. There we are. And it'll eventually come out something like this. So you have your spring, keep it to one side for your mag, and something similar to this here. So you've got part of the gas fill valve, which is here. You've got the screw knob, screw piece there, everything, and some pins as well, which hold the big metal block in. Now the big black piece you're seeing around here is the seal. Now if that gets too dry, that will stop it from holding gas. So what you want to do, take it out carefully. I cannot emphasise that enough, carefully. Now I'm going to be naughty here, so don't look, really. So yeah, take it out of there nice and carefully. And what you want to do is, there we are, is you want to get it nice and moist. Now there's several ways to do it. You can either sort of let it swim in silicone oil, just by like putting it in a bowl of it or something, or just do what I do. Silicone oil, again, shake it, and give it a spraying. Nice and heavy on one side, flip it over. So you've done that side, flip it straight over, and again, spray, 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 spray. Just like that. So you've done that, then do where it's resting. So all around here, all around there, done. And then place it straight back on. Straight back on. Reminding myself of Bob Ross here. Oh, he's a happy little seal. So yeah, like that. And then again, once it's on, spray, 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 spray. Squirt, squirt, squirt. So you've done that, and then hopefully that should help you keep the gas in. Then reassemble your magazine. I'm just going to do this quickly. Now, if you're ever in doubt or you don't know how to do it, do not do it yourself. At least seek the advice of someone that knows what they're doing, or get some guidance from somewhere. Go to your local airsoft shop, which I do recommend. At least make sure you know what you're doing. Don't destroy something that is nice and simple to do if you know how. Don't be afraid to ask if you don't know what you're doing. It's better to not know and look stupid for a minute than to do something wrong and look stupid for an eternity. So yeah, basically, if it's a simple problem like the seal is too dry, this should generally sort it. If it's not working, then it could be because it's torn, or there's a problem with another part of the magazine, or something else. In which case, then send it to a professional to get looked at, unless you know what the problem is and you can fix it. But then, what you'll do is you'll put a bit of gas in there. I haven't got any at the moment, and it won't work, I know, because it's a rusted seal. So you put a bit of gas in there, and then that should start holding it. You may hear it leak a little bit, but it could be normal. What you do want to make sure is you've put the base plate back on correctly. So you'll soon know, because if you haven't, it's going to start leaking out the bottom. Make sure you do that. But yeah, that's the basics of it, really. If there's any problems after that, as I said many times, seek out help of someone who knows what they're doing. Ideally, a professional airsoft gunsmith, or take it to your local airsoft shop. It will always help. But I hope that this airsoft video has helped for you a little bit, just how to care for your magazines. Thanks guys, I'll hopefully see you all on the field with working magazines.